Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about the ecosystem. Before we start our lesson today, I want you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Let's know what is ecosystem. The sun is the principal source of energy input to biological systems. The earth receives two main types of energy from the sun. This is the light and the heat. Okay, during photosynthesis, plants and some bacteria can trap light energy and convert it into chemical energy. Heterotrophic organisms obtain their energy by eating plants or animals that have eaten plants. So all organisms directly or indirectly get their energy from sunlight. So directly, like the plants, they get their energy from sunlight, while indirectly, those animals that feed on these plants, this is called indirectly. Okay, the energy is obtained indirectly. The energy is passed from one organism to another in a food chain, but unlike water and elements such as carbon and nitrogen, energy does not return in the cycle. Energy given out by organisms is lost to the environment. Okay, let's see here. We have here the plants. This is a tree. These are the plants, and we call them the grass also are plants. So we call them producers because why are they called producers? Because they obtain their energy from sunlight, and they make their own food by themselves. Okay, by a process called photosynthesis. So they take in carbon dioxide from the air and give out oxygen and forming starch, okay, which is stored in the leaves, later on stored in the leaves. So these are the producers. Second thing, here we have the primary consumers, and we call them herbivores. Those animals that feed on plants, we call them primary consumers, and herbivores are those animals that feed on plants. Third, here we have secondary consumers or small carnivores. So this is like the snake here. Secondary consumers are those animals that feed on flesh of other animals. So we call them carnivores, small carnivores. And finally, the tertiary consumer, which means the third consumer or type of consumer. They are large carnivores that feed on the secondary consumers. They feed on small carnivores like the snake. Okay, here the blue part, is the heat lost from the system, and then while the pink part here is the energy flowing through the system. Energy is lost at each level in the food chain, as in the example below. Energy lost through the process of respiration, okay, as heat. Energy used up for movement, okay, so in respiration and movement, these are the ways of energy lost. Movement such as animals searching for food, finding a mate, escape from the predator, and so on. Warm-blooded animals like the birds and mammals, okay, maintain a standard blood temperature. They lose heat to the environment. Warm-blooded animals lose heat energy in feces and urine. Some of the material in the organisms being eaten is not used by the consumer. For example, locusts does not eat the roots of maize. Okay, here we have, this is another diagram. Here we have, this is the tree, and we call it the producer, and we said that producers are plants, and the plants make their own food by themselves. They take in carbon dioxide from the air and give out oxygen, and the food stored is the starch or the glucose is stored in the leaves. Okay, so this process we call it what? Photosynthesis. Of course, they take in water from the soil. So producers are known to make their food by themselves. Okay, then this is the first thing we have here. Then we have the primary consumer. As we said before, primary consumers are those we call them herbivores because they feed on green plants. Okay, they feed on plants. So and then we have the second, and we call them herbivores. Secondary consumers are those animals that feed on primary consumers, okay, and we call them small carnivores as they feed on flesh of other animals. The third thing we call them tertiary, which, as we said in the previously, tertiary consumer are the large consumers. Okay, when the animals and plants they die, what happens? They are converted. Okay, in the soil by decomposers to useful substances. Okay, they are converted into uh, useful substances by the decomposers. So decomposers feed on dead organic matter. So decomposers feed on dead organic matter. Can you see the cycle again? Which this is useful for the plants, and then the plants take them, okay, and so on, okay, and containing they get the benefit of these, and then and so on. This is the cycle. So even plants don't make use of all the light energy available to them. This is because some light is reflected off. Okay, so from the leaves, some of the light is reflected off the shiny leaves with the wrong wavelength for chlorophyll to trap. It passes through the leaves without passing through any chloroplast and does not fall on the leaves. Okay, thank you for listening, and bye for now.